And I think we're live. Only 1 minute late. I was working on getting my chat back. I was trying to find the right color combo. I couldn't remember what I had last time. So I hope this chat still looks decent. B-Stack says movie that bad. Fish Aquarium wants to know how long will this last. There's no guarantee because I am super duper tired. Floyd, it's going well. Gavin, Mark, Jeff, Joel, Pavilion, Neil, Fish Aquaria. Hello. To the left amongst the plants. Go Hawks. Carlos wants to know what are some basics you should know about discus. The basics I know is that they're really finicky, so I'll probably never keep them. Even though I have like the perfect water for them, all I hear about when I research them is how much maintenance they require. This isn't the Hearthstone stream. I didn't know anyone still played that game. Yeah, so mystery box. I'm waiting for a few more people to get in, but I just got like a random white box in the mail today. But I also got a good box, so I'm gonna get something good to open up for you guys. This, I think I don't know if I should do this first or before, because if I open this first and I get SARS and I die, I won't be able to open the good package. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Megan says I'm tired too. 10 p.m. here. Just finished taping a tank for silicone, but ran out of tape. Oh, I hate that. Hi from Australia. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Rudy says I'm still playing. I quit playing that game when they started doing like the separate requirements for like wild and regular or whatever. That just killed it for me. I quit. Big Joe's Fish Room. Not a whole lot. What's going on with you? Deathbox first. Yep, I know there's still some people that are going to be coming onto the stream, so I'm going to wait for them. I got a few messages to take care of. I've just been, like, so behind. Neil says, you play Overwatch? Yep, I do play Overwatch, but I haven't been able to play for a couple days now. Shrimp, not the Corys. Going pretty well, Chad. Just a little tired. What is the best snails bristlenose to use for algae on my glass tank? Probably nearite snails. Carlos says he just quarantined all his fish tanks with erythromycin, General Cure, and IC-X. Have been putting it off. Do you preventively medicate your fish or treat when symptoms show? I spend a lot of time watching my fish, so if I see early signs, that's when I start doing it. I don't really pre-medicate. Hello, Aiden. Hope you're doing well tonight. Sweet, thank you. I'm ordering them this afternoon. The nice thing about nearite snails is they won't reproduce. You'll get like little egg spots everywhere that are almost impossible to get off, but they never hatch because they don't hatch in freshwater. How should I add calcium for snails? So you could do what was recommended to me in one of my videos was Cuttlebone. You can dose calcium. You can use Tums. You can use Wonder Shells. What are you currently looking for on Aquabid? Joel wants to know. Joel, I rarely go on Aquabid anymore. Timmy says he's hatched mystery snails in freshwater. Yes, mystery snails. I'm hatching a ton of them in freshwater. It's nearite snails. My guppies and red cherry shrimp won't breed. They're in their own tank with sponge filters, so no fry get eaten or sucked up. But it's still not breeding. How long have you had them? Sometimes it just takes them a while to get situated. Going on Aquabid or Amazon just leads to money disappearing. Yeah, speaking of that, oh, here it is. I got a new microphone, so I haven't had time to set it up. I just got it in the mail today, and I got one that was suggested to me by Big Fly Multimedia, so he's pretty legit when it comes to that stuff, so hopefully it'll sound pretty good. Hello, David. I've had my non-breeding guppies and shrimp for about 3 weeks, and I'm feeding them twice a day. Yeah, honestly, I probably wouldn't be too concerned. When I got my yellow shrimp from LR Brett's, excuse me, it took like a month and a half before they started breeding, and now there's just a ton of them. Let's see. It's hard to see the chat for me. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so do we want the mystery box, or do we want what I know is something good? Which one should we do first? What mic? It's a Audio Technica something or other. I don't remember the model number. I just gave Big Fly Multimedia the model number, and he said, yep. Short Anxious says, Big Fly really had a good live stream on Saturday. I missed the Saturday, but I caught the Sunday morning. Alright, I guess we're doing the mystery box. So, this is probably going to be really stupid, but I don't know, it could be something cool. Like, where this thing came from is some little rinky-dink town in Arizona. I looked it up, like a trailer town for snowbirds, basically where people go to retire. So, I don't know, I got my trusty multi-tool, so let's figure out what it is. And if this is just something I bought on Amazon, I'm going to be pretty sad. So I've never had Amazon send me a package like this. Oh, it's food. Sample food. Super veggie stick. Oh, this is the food I bought. Ha, see? I told you. This is SNC Aquatics. Let's see if I can get that. 6 ounce. I totally forgot about these. It's been so long since I've ordered these. I did order these on Amazon, so I guess there's that. But it's been so long, and it's prime shipping, so it was supposed to be 2 days. But I got these were recommended to me for my mystery snails. Michael says, what? Bob is streaming again? It's been like 24 hours. No, it's been 48. You can't count Corey's live stream. But it did look like they sent me some different sample foods. So I got some spirulina veggie wafers. And super veggie calcium something or other. And packing peanuts. Dean wants to know, what's it taste like? Well, which one? I got 3 of them. We can do the veggie stick, the spirulina wafer, or veggie stick, more veggie stick. So which one? Which one do you want to know what it tastes like? It smells like vegetables. Taste them all. I don't want to have to call out from work tomorrow. Ooh, that one doesn't smell very appetizing. This is probably the best one for me, the spirulina. Eat it all? Ah. I'd have to say the wafer smells the best. That probably means it's going to taste the worst. What is this? It's 30% protein, 7% fat, 4% fiber, 10% moisture, spirulina, soybean, soy flour, krill, plankton, a mixture of plants and vegetables including seaweed, spirulina, celery, carrot, squash, spinach, broccoli, sweet potato, tomato, zucchini, and vegetable oils, vitamin and mineral supplement. Double stabilized vitamin C. That's not bad. Think I should eat it? Alright. Tastes like alfalfa. It's kind of gross. Not gonna lie. I think it's gonna take me a long time to get this taste out of my mouth. Well, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever done on camera. Well, actually not even close, but that's not for this live stream. Solid Gold tasted fish food before on video. Yeah, so did Corey, so, you know, I'm just joining that bandwagon. Speaking of Solid Gold Aquatics, I don't know if all you guys know about the calendar I'm giving away. I probably should have had it here, but it's the Solid Gold goldfish calendar. I think the fish just laughed. If you heard someone laughing, yeah, that was my friend. So I ate my vegetables for the day, right? What do you think the worst tasting fish food would be? Something frozen or live? Blackworms, bloodworms. Bloodworms smell really bad, so probably that. Reverend Ryan Bob Gibbon says, why don't you like Aquabait anymore? It's not that I don't like it. It's just I was on there for so long that I don't see much variety. I feel like at any time if I was looking for something, I either know it's there or it's not there. Ah. So I'm going to drink some beet juice to get that taste out of my mouth. So that's how bad that is. Okay. Who wants a kiss? Big Fly Multimedia is here. Definitely check out his channel. He's doing some awesome live streams now. Luckily, I only chewed that wafer on one side of my mouth. So it's only one side of my mouth that's bad. Michael says, W2F, I can't spiel tonight. Short wants a kiss. To try and beat the flavor, I see what you did there. Very clever. Alright, so let's get on to the good package here. Probably just showed my address on YouTube, but whatever. So this was sent to me by a subscriber of mine, and it's moss. Christian says, Steen, you have inspired me to try my cichlid pellets. Well, good. Like, you should try. If you're not willing to eat the food you feed to your pets, then, you know, kind of a hypocrite. So I don't know what's in here. Oh, this is really nice. Plankton block. You can kind of see it. Woo. I wish he was here. I don't think I've seen him in chat yet. Let me scroll up. No, I'm missing a lot of comments. I'm really sorry, but just kind of winging it here. So this is nice. Plankton block, that'll be good for my mystery snails. That's probably why he sent it. Oh, Jim Jobs, there he is. So yeah, this was Jim that sent this to me, so thank you very much. Hopefully I didn't just show our home addresses on YouTube. I was going to do a video of this, but I figured, no, I'll just do it on the live stream. So, anchor moss, and it's a pretty big portion of it. I mean, that's definitely a handful of it. Awesome. I don't know, Jim, do you sell fish? Because this is packaged a lot better than how I ship my plants. Gotta open it. I'm not gonna taste the moss. Don't even ask me. Rudy says, I'm gonna fly 3,000 miles. Well, you have a tough go of it. I'll tell you that much. But if you can actually do it, my hats are off. Well, now I feel like I've issued a YouTube challenge. That's not good. Do you know, Jim, do you know the scientific name? Because I'm not really keen on all these different mosses. Like, I've heard of anchor moss, but I think I would know the scientific name over the eat your greens. No, I've already eaten my greens. I don't need to eat this. I've already ate. What have I already ate? I already read this off. Yeah, broccoli, spinach, zucchini, vegetable oils, carrots, celery. I mean, I am trying to diet, but not that bad. Ooh, I got a wee little snail in there. That's cool. I am one of the people that love getting snails. I love snails. And look at this. It's like professionally packed. I'm glad I haven't shipped anything to my viewers yet, because now I'd be embarrassed. Yeah, I figured burning that it would be like that first taxophyllum. Isn't that most mosses? I guess that's how everything is. They just put the first name and then species. It could be whatever. Eat the snail. Nope, not eating live animals. Sorry. Pavilion wants to know, Bob, are you going to go to Florida with Corey? I would say that there's about a 95% chance that I'm going. The bad news is that Peru is not happening this year. Just getting that out in the open. The chance of us going to Peru this year is like 5%. Because they've already got a full calendar, apparently. I didn't know you're supposed to book like 10 years in advance. The food sounds like all those herbal supplements they try to sell you all the time. So it's kind of like, if I can get this stuff out of the way, I have this stuff that I put in my water called Zip Fizz. I don't know if anyone drinks this stuff. Can't really see it. But like the ingredients of this, it kind of reminds me of that. Because there's like 9 million ingredients in this stuff. Joel says, what? What about Ancestress Bob? Yeah, it's like you can go on their calendar and see that they've already got all their trips planned out for this year, and none of them are the 15-day deep up into the mountains trips. I think the longest one was like 11 days. I don't want to do that. I want the 15-day find and discover your own fish. Otherwise, it's not worth it. D from Brooklyn says, Zip Fizz rocks. Yeah, this stuff is awesome. Man, I got your guys' live streams and it was pretty cool and super dope. Now I want to keep African cichlids. Yeah, I love them. Is this yeah, the guides have already booked their trips. Now I could probably get on one of them because people back out, but it wouldn't be like our group, our YouTube group of people. It'd be me going with random people. I don't want to do that. Chad, Zip Fizz is just like a water vitamin supplement to put in water, and it's like think of like putting like pop rocks in your water, so it's got that fizz to it. It's pretty awesome. Welcome to Miami. Does Washington State allow piranhas? No. If not, do you still have any thoughts on them? Because I'm considering them. Fish aquarium. My thoughts on piranhas are people always want to get them, and then they get them, and then after like 6 months, they want to get rid of them. I don't know why. That just seems to be the case, and we actually have piranhas in some of our local lakes here. Like there's a lake, I don't know, 10 miles down the freeway from me that had piranhas in it, so people letting them go. Any dwarf cichlids in Florida now? I haven't done a ton of research in Florida as far as what that trip's going to look like. I have never heard of Zip Fizz. Pink might not be the best color, but like that's the whole ingredient list from here all the way down. Cole says piranha are boring. I don't know that I agree with they're boring, but I don't like fish that you can only keep one of in general. The only fish that I would ever keep that you could keep one of would be a hairy puffer. So I know I missed a ton of comments while I was eating algae wafers and opening boxes, so sorry about that, but if I go through them all now, I'm just going to be way behind. Look at all these comments I'm behind. That's a lot of comments. Oh, then I think I got sidetracked and I didn't even like finish up on my solid gold. So yeah, I got the solid gold calendar that I'm giving away. The only thing you have to do is be a subscriber, so I'm assuming you're a subscriber already if you're here. And then you have to comment on my Saturday video where the date is the title. So it was the 7th. All you have to do is leave a comment, and then this Saturday on my live stream, I will pick a random pick, or YouTube will pick a random winner. And I'll do it live, so you know I'm not giving it to my best friend. How big is that Siamese algae eater in the feed? I would say he's pushing 4 inches. He's getting pretty big. They're not really fish comments. They're comments of what you were doing. Yeah, I'm glad I'm going to be able to go back and read them, though, because I think it's going to be fun. Hey, Oliver says, hey, Bob, just bought a canister filter secondhand, and it doesn't have any sponges. Should they have sponges rather than just media? The only thing I would be really concerned about is an intake sponge. I would definitely put an intake sponge. And Jim, thanks for the plankton block, too. This is the plankton, right? Contains algae and wood for long-term health. Oh, this might be, this isn't the plankton block. What is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's 30% protein, so same thing. But thank you for that. This stuff dissolves so fast in my water, I had to quit buying it because I was going through it too fast. Are pacus illegal? I'm pretty sure I can have pacus here. Zaptor says he uses pot scrubbers instead of sponges. Yep, that's a good one. A lot of people do that. Have you used almond leaves in aquarium? I've used them in my shrimp tanks, but I don't really like it. Drasman says, roll tide. Did Alabama win? I don't even know. I'm not sure if you know South American cichlids, but do you know if the firemouth would get along with electric blue acara? As long as they're about the same size. Brennan says, Steenfott Aquatics, got my first plants, Java Fern and Anubias Nana Petite. Those are really, really good choices. I used to sell a ton of Anubias, and maybe I'll start doing that again. I don't know. Michael says, Alabama up by 7 at the half. If you were not, Joel says, this is kind of a good question, I think, because I can see it already. If you were not able to buy Simic sand, what would your next choice be and why? It would be pool filter sand, because it's not as cheap and it's not as good, but it's fairly cheap and it's pretty good. Bob might wake up with dropsy or Popeye. I feel like I already have that because I haven't really slept at all in a long time. What's your favorite driftwood? I forget what it's called, but you can't get it anymore anyway, so I would have to go with Malaysian driftwood. Evening, Bob. Evening to you. I bet you'll crave algae blocks in the morning. It'll probably be good for me. I think I'm gonna have to stop chat now because I want to keep up with everyone's comments and questions. Keaton says, "What is your favorite TV show?" Some of my favorites are The Office, Seinfeld, Battlestar Galactica. I'm sure there's others. I don't know that I have a favorite, but those are some of my top ones. What's your favorite driftwood? I got that one. I think someone asked me if I ever kept cherry barbs, but this is my fish tank and there's cherry barbs behind me, so yes. And they breed too. I got fry. Herping, I hope we're talking about like herpetology and not the other kind of herping. But that would be fun to do in Florida. I just made a 10-gallon guppy tank today and I put a Anubias in it. Yeah, Anubias is one of my favorite plants. I mean, look at this. Oops. This big Anubias way up there in the... I don't know how this works. Way up there in the corner. What fish do you want to eat when you go on the Peru trip? Piranha. I don't know how to pronounce that. Silver arowana or pacu. Those are the food fish in that region. I think it would be interesting to try an arowana just to see what it tastes like. I don't think it would be interesting to try the other ones. I think it's probably, I don't know. I don't really care about the other fish. I mean, obviously I care about all fish, but I can't keep those fish, so. Short and Anxious says, piranha are not bad if you can keep them in a school like silver dollars. They're just a schooling carnivore silver dollar, basically. They're on my list of fish most abused or misunderstood. Yeah, that's probably fairly accurate. Willie the King Cullen says, do you like clawed frogs? I like almost every frog. I don't think there's a frog that I don't like. Let's see. Oh, Josh Aquatics and Railroad videos. Welcome to my stream. I'm glad you made another one. Joel says, Steen, do you like Curb Your Enthusiasm? See, a new season is on its way. Yes, Curb Your Enthusiasm is amazing. I like when they asked, shoot, why am I drawing a blank? Larry David, why he's making another season. And he said, I left, I did nothing, so I came back. I thought that was pretty accurate. And that's like a quote from Shakespeare or something like that. I don't remember, but I thought it was pretty accurate. Bob is the only comp only for the USA. Bob is the comp only. Oh, the competition. It depends. I'm gonna try to ship it, but honestly, if it costs me like $60 to ship it to your country, that's probably not happening. But if it's like $20, yeah, I'll probably do that. For me to ship it in my country is like $2. So I don't know how crazy I want to get with the shipping. My hubster bought a goldfish pack from Aquarium Co-op for my tank for Christmas. Are swords okay in gravel? If so, I need root tabs and easy green. Some people say that you don't need root tabs for gravel or for swords, but it'll be a huge help. Suggestions on raising GH without raising the pH. Aqua Vitro. The heck was that sound? Aqua Vitro makes a product. Unfortunately, I don't know what it's called, but it does raise GH and not pH. So I would look up the Aqua Vitro line. Not a great answer, but that's all I got. Sorry. Am I down at the bottom? Bob, do you know how to propagate Anubias? Do you just cut the runner and plant it? You just cut the rhizome in half. So that's basically it. You want to make sure if you're cutting your rhizome that the piece you're cutting off, they say the minimum is like to have 3 leaves on it, but I don't like to cut anything less than 5 just to be safe. What's the rarest fish you've bought? Probably the zebra plecos maybe, or the mabu puffer is not really a rare fish, but not a lot of people have them. Pinecones raise pH. I think he was wanting to raise GH and not raise pH, if I remember right. Help, I got giant tetras and now they are attacking my scissortail rasbora and Molly's. It probably help to know what kind of tetras, maybe. That's pretty rare that tetras would go after fish that are bigger than them. I mean, I know not all tetras are small. Some tetras are like 16 inches, so it really depends on what kind of tetras you got. David says carnivore sticks, pond pellets, but they go crazy for zucchini wafers and raw shrimp. Must be answering someone's question that I missed. Thank you. Has anyone experienced their neons only schooling near the bottom of the tank? I added a school of 10 in a 20-gallon tank, and they're only staying near the bottom. They might be scared. I don't know what other fish are in the tank. There might be like some fish that are on the top of the water column, like up there, that might be keeping them down low, or they just might still be adjusting to their new home. Tommy X says, what kind of light do you have? Almost any different kind of light. I have them all. Gary Lang's rainbow fish are pretty rare. Yeah, these rainbow fish in here are from Gary Lang. They're the Snapper Creek. I don't know how rare they are. But if you say they're rare, I'll believe you because I've never seen them before. Short and Anxious says, battery's on at 1%. I'll have to be quiet and actually pay attention and mod. Why is your battery always dead, Short? Man, you're killing me. Gonna start a GoFundMe to get you like 20 batteries for your phone. Or maybe just get you a GoFundMe just to get you a computer. Then you can live stream. Big J Aquatics says, I love my arena goldfish more now. He's just so cool, and I have a sponge filter. And I'm in love with the sponge. Yeah, when I was helping Corey with his goldfish tank last weekend, I feel like they actually interact with you. I don't know. Like they seem like more than just like obviously they're more than just a tetra, but that was pretty cool. I might have to break down and get a goldfish one of these days. Do all live breeders get along together as fish aquaria? No. Go smart TV short. No eating giant Danio. Okay. Corona Ken says too much flow at the top will drive neons to a lower level. Yep, I didn't think about that. That's why I'm glad that you guys are really interactive because, one, I don't know the answers to a lot of your questions, and two, you guys help each other out, so that's cool. David says, oh, I missed this question earlier and I meant to go back. Sorry, David. But he wants to know what can't I put rainbows with. I have koi, severums, tetras, barbs. I've kept them with tetras. Obviously, I've kept them with barbs. Oh, I have tetras and barbs in this tank. Any peaceful to like semi-aggressive fish should be okay. Now that's going to depend on what rainbows, because pseudum gills are not really good tank mates for, definitely not severums. They'll get eaten. But like the bigger whatever species, melatoninate, I don't know. I'm too tired to say that word. But most of the bigger rainbows, because they're fast, and if you get a good school of them, they can handle semi-aggressive fish pretty well. The Guardian says, you and Corey are coming here to Miami. I'm not sure where in Florida. I looked at the itinerary, but it was like 3 weeks ago when he was first talking about it. Burning says, I think I'm finally ready to learn about cichlids. What's a good website that has a lot of info and most of the species? So how I learned about cichlids is I went to the West Spot Tropical Fish. If you look up their website, they have just a list of basically any cichlid, any African that's common and, well, more common. So it's like 200 at least. And then what I would do is I would just Google them. So, and that's it. It took a long time, but if you don't want to do it that way, you could go to cichlid forum, and they have like species profiles. There's another cichlid site too. I forget what it is at the time. But cichlid-forum has like species profiles, and they're fairly accurate from what I've found. 99 watching tonight. That's pretty good. It would be really cool if we could get more likes than people are watching again. I wish I could like my own stream. I would. Charles Fish Tank says, somewhere he said, here it is. Is the Peru trip off? It's looking like it's off for this year, because the company already has their whole year planned out. So that was a big fail on my part. Jim Job says, Bob, let me know where in Florida. I have a few connections with fish farms. Yeah, that's one of the things, is that they're taking us to a few fish farms. Honestly, there's probably only 2 that I even care about going to, but I'm not sure which fish farms they're taking us to. Big J Aquatics says, Bob, why do you like small fish? Is it because it's easier and more fish in a smaller tank? I wouldn't say it's easier. I mean, one of the things is I like biodiversity, so I do like putting a lot of fish in a tank. And you know, I've kind of talked about this before, but like a lot of the big South and Central Americans, they're awesome, they're amazing fish, but you can only keep like one in a 200 or 300 gallon tank, and that would get so boring for me really fast. Aiden's got it there, cichlid-forum.com. Burning. I would check out that website. I would live on that website. What fish are on the fish farm? It depends on which fish farm. So one of the fish farms I want to go to is like strictly African cichlids, and they get in some really rare, cool stuff. So that's one of the ones I want to see. And I actually met the owner in Chicago. Honestly, that's really the only one I care about. If we go down there and I don't get to go there, I'm going to be really, really sad. I'm going to feel like the whole thing's a waste. Jules 357, welcome back. I just got the Fluval fresh and plant light. How many hours a day should I leave it on for Wisteria, Dwarf, Sag, and Nubius? That's a hard question to answer because it depends on your fertilizers, it depends on your CO2. But I would say, I mean, I leave all my lights on for 8 hours. Some are longer, some a little bit shorter, but 8 hours is kind of where I go. Anthony says those crypts in the background are gorgeous. Yep, I wish I could get more into this corner. What corner? This corner over here, because they look really good over there. But I had to zoom in too far. Otherwise, you start seeing the light, and there's problems there. Zapter says, I got the Fluval 2.0 fresh and plant too. How long do you keep yours on for? I think I'm finally starting to get rid of that algae wafer taste of my mouth. Let's see. Am I up to date on chat here? Yep. Nisa, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Says, Fish person, I misread your post. I still think he needs a goldfish or 12. Maybe just one. Bob, I think I caught the rainbow bug. Thanks to Lucas. Please send cure. I could send more rainbows, but I don't have any to send. It's pretty hard to get me out of my rainbows. Fish person V blogs. Yep, I ate an algae wafer. I ate one of these, just a little one. Rico says, how are you dealing with water changes with the freezing temps? I'm doing more smaller water changes. That's another reason I'm not getting very much sleep lately. but it's finally warming up. I think last night was the first night that it didn't actually freeze. Rico says, "What's up, Josh? How's it going?" Welcome back, Rico. Of course, I just read your question, so I probably should have said that first. Filthy Phil wants to know if I dehydrate Repashy food, and I do not. Fish Person wants me to eat an algae wafer again. No, you can hit the rewind button and go back and watch me eat it, but I think that's the closest you're going to get to see me eat another one. Brennan says, I have Anubias Nana Petite and Java Fern dosing Flourish Excel once a day to liven the plant up. They were doing, I'm not sure, how long should I leave my Stingray on for 10? Well, so Anubias Nana Petite and Java Fern probably don't need Flourish Excel every day. They're really, really slow growers. And a Phoenix Stingray on a 10-gallon tank, at most, I would dose that twice a week, but I would probably just be dosing it once a week if it was me. I wouldn't be doing Excel every day because you're basically, I feel like you're just wasting your money. I think I missed something here. Yao Ming says, can I keep a group of 6 in a 40 breeder? I must have missed something originally because I don't know what fish you're talking about. Sorry about that. Fish Person says, how much does Anubias cophifolia go for normally? Usually I see it for the same price as other Anubias, maybe $1 or $2 more. But I know around here it's like in that 7 to 10, maybe a little more than 10 if it's like a big plant. But usually cophifolia is the same price as other strains of Anubias because it's really all different strains of Anubias nana, really. Jewel says, I don't use it either, just Easy Green, new to plan, still not sure what I'm doing. Well, you're on a good track if you're on Easy Green because it doesn't get much easier than that. Ferd Master says, I have ordered from Imperial Tropical. Where did that go? I ordered from Imperial Tropical from Florida, awesome quality cichlids. I've ordered from them too, but I've never ordered cichlids from them because they, I like the rare stuff, so I haven't seen anything from them that I actually want to get. Cichlid wise, I got my rainbow shiners from them, and I got some crayfish from them. Matthew wants to know if I've ever had the Muramo moss balls. No. They've just never appealed to me. Like, I don't know. Like, if I put a moss ball in this tank, to me it's just going to look like algae. And that's kind of the problem I have with it. Burning says, hey Bob, have you ever seen an Empire Gudgeon? I don't think I've ever seen one in person. I've just seen them online and read about them. Can male betta fish go together in a tank? Usually not. I mean, if it's a big enough tank, you might be able to get away with it. Burning says it's like $20 here in the US. What are we talking about? I'm curious. Burning, what's $20? Oh, do you mean Australia? Madagascar lace plant is $120? Holy cow. That's like, it's like $100 US, isn't it? I'm not really up on your conversion rate, but that's still expensive. Nicey, sorry. We'll just go with Rock. Rock says, I live in Alaska and order from Corey. Easy Green seems to be working for me. Yep, that's what this tank gets. I'm still confused on which way I'm pointing. Whatever. But yeah, I use Easy Green in this tank. Madagascar lace plant was $12.99 Canadian for me. Usually stuff is way more expensive here than the US. Madagascar lace plant used to be one of those plants that were really expensive and then no one could keep it alive, so it's kind of come down in price. At least that's what I feel. Zapper's going to start smuggling plants to Australia. Oh, Anubias cophifolia is $20. Holy cow. Boost is $90. You're like 5 hours away from just going and harvesting boost. Well, I guess that's not true. Like the northern part of Australia is like 5 miles away. Well, 5 hours away. Uh, Nicey? Am I saying that right? Nisi. Nisi. Rockworks also. Okay. Rudin wants dwarf lotus plants. Charles Fish Tank says, Bob, are you ever going to get some super red koi angels? Not anytime soon. You could buy a group of 6 quarter size and raise them up, and Steve will send you extra. No. I'm really trying to limit how many fish I'm buying right now. Simply because the more fish I get, the harder it is for me to rearrange my fish room. Plus, fish are expensive. Cameron says, Boost has a crazy following. Price will be dropped significantly. Yeah, you can already get Boost for like $5. Like, Boost for me is already cheaper than Anubias. Unless you're going with like the super rare strains. But the common strains are already cheaper than Anubias. Granted, they're not nearly as big as Anubias, so I guess it's not technically cheaper. Filthy Phil wants to know if I breed super red bushy nose in the same tank as albinos are common. Nope. I keep all the only ones I breed together are albinos and chocolate or common. Those are the only ones I breed together. David, no, gravel vacuuming is a chore. Boost plants are so small. Yep, and they grow about as slow as Anubias. So yeah, it sucks when they die back. Sam's Fish says, Bob, I have a pair of Oscars in a tank with a sailfin pleco and a school of silver dollars. If they breed, will they try to kill the other fish? They could. I've seen it happen a lot. Really depends on your fish. I think you'd be more worried about your other fish eating the fry. Amy says, if I put a 48-inch stingray over 48-inch stingray over 3 10-gallon tanks that are side by side, do you think it would get enough light for low-tech plants? Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be plenty. Cameron says, Big J, go for Anubias. You can never go wrong with Anubias. Tommy says, have you ever kept Ultimate Angelfish? I've never kept angelfish ever. Hawks versus Falcons. Who's gonna take it, Bob? Falcons. I don't think the Seahawks have a prayer. What are some? Although Matt Ryan does kind of suck in the playoffs, so it could be interesting. David says, I've never used sand before. I use gravel so I can shove my python in it and back it. Yep. What are some good medium-sized African cichlids with a lot of personality? Man, I think I got like a case of the hiccups going on here. Well, you're probably going to want Mbuna because they are medium-sized and they have a ton of personality, but personality kind of equals aggression. So kind of depends on what you're going for. You could try the Tilapia. They're kind of a smaller. I consider them a dwarf Mbuna, but a lot of people don't agree with me. But they stay pretty small. And they have just a ton of personality. They're some of my favorite fish. I'm going to try to get... Right now I'm only keeping one strain of them, but I want to get more. Big J Aquatics says New England Super Bowl, probably. Football is a sport for people with chalkboards. It's so confusing compared to rugby. Maybe. Ride with Robert says, I want to build a tropical pond in Arizona. Is it okay because of the heat? I would feel you'd have to probably make it pretty deep. This guy wants to know what water hardness is ideal for endlers. Maybe someone who's kept endlers can kind of chime in there. Probably pretty similar to guppies, but I know most live bears like harder water. Football is all about the coaching. They say that. They say it, but I'm bare bottom. I'm not a fan of bare bottom tanks. I get it. I understand it. But I don't know. I like substrate. Scepter says, I have a 4-inch Mbuna who will chase down an 8-inch Malawi eye biter with no fear. Yep. Like I said, Mbuna, medium size, but personality kind of equals aggression. Tyler says, sand sucks to clean because it gets sucked in no matter what, so over time you need to add more. Cameron says, I just switched to fluorite because I was so tired of seeing all the mold. If you can stand seeing it, maybe try it. Matthew wants to know, what is your favorite live bear out of mollies, platies, swordtails, guppies, or endlers? Probably guppies. Bob, Charles Fish Tank says, Bob, what substrate are you using in your yellow shrimp tank? That is Mr. Aqua Aquarium soil. Overring says, what should I do if one of my 55-gallon tanks has a pH of 8.6 and I'm keeping live bears and danios? I honestly probably wouldn't be too worried about it, but if you are, you could add in like some driftwood, something like a big piece of manzanita, not manzanita. Man, I'm tired, but you could throw in driftwood and it should kind of help with that. Have you ever kept wild guppies? No, fish fan, I have not. The guppies that I have now are actually the only guppies I have ever kept. Mike says, hey Bob, what are your thoughts on column style fish tanks? Like or dislike? I dislike. I like fish to be able to swim back and forth. They generally don't swim up and down. I mean, you can see in this tank here, clearly the preferred is back and forth. So, fish person says my lag is really bad. I can check my stream health. Stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. So that might just be you. Sorry about that. Overring says, would Grapevine work? I've never used Grapevine before, so I'm not sure. Andrew Knox says, how long have you been keeping fish? If you count like my first time and my second time, which is now 6 years maybe, give or take a year. Michelle says, found zebra plecos for $800 in Australia. That's so expensive. Do you know which Corys hybridize? Not specifically, but a lot of them do. I don't know, like if you're looking for specific names, if they're like about the same size, I think you're going to end up with a chance of them hybridizing. Big J Aquatics says he's calling it a night. I'm getting sick. Glad I did a video for tomorrow. Bob, you're cool. Peace. Thanks for stopping by again, Big J. Always appreciate it. Short and Anxious has a German Shepherd. That's awesome. I have half a German Shepherd. Later, Big. Later, guys. See you later. Night. Joel, get better. Is Joel leaving too? Did I lose Joel and miss it? Joel. I don't think I've seen Joel in a while. Oh, Sashimi Whiskey is here. Also, a great channel to check out. Really cool channel. I was saying bye to Big J. Should I cull Panda Emerald Fry? That's up to you. So, I was gonna cull my Guppy Fry, but honestly, like the guppies that come out, so I have the red Delta guppies, and every once in a while I'll get ones that have like black, or they're just straight up black. They sell just as well as the full red, so I stopped doing it. Mark says, I have a male German Shepherd, 4 years old. That's awesome. Michael has a Boxer Hound mix. Yeah, I had 2 boxers growing up, and they were awesome. Hey Bob, how's your dog doing? Tyler, my dog is doing good. She's still a little weak, but hopefully she's regaining her strength. Short and Anxious got another shout out. Oh, publicity. I don't, man. I hope I get a sleep tonight. Did you give her a shout out, Shishimi? Sashimi? Sashimi? Zapter says, I think I just blew my date for tomorrow, ignoring the phone for Big Steen. Well, clearly she wasn't worth it then. Charles Fish Tank says, I'm happy with the family Cocker Spaniel. Yeah, I love Cocker Spaniels. My grandma had one forever. Fish Person Vlogs has got to head out. Thanks for stopping by. Josh Aquatics and Railroad says, what type of music do you listen to? It's kind of cliche answer, but really everything. Not so much country, but there are a few country songs I like. But I can't specifically listen to country because the good songs are few and far between, I feel. But it really depends on my mood and what I'm doing. Chad says, how come my yellow lab swims from one side of the tank to the other? Because that's what they do. I don't know, I wouldn't be too worried about that. Short and Anxious, I got you next video. How much are red line torpedo barbs where you are, Bob? They range from $6 for like really small ones at PetSmart up to like $15 for ones that are a little bigger. I might have to stop chat again because I feel like I'm getting lost. Josh Aquatics and Railroads wants to know if I've ever bred cherry barbs. Not specifically, but these ones behind me do breed, and if the fry make it, by the time I see them, I do pull them out. But I don't specifically try to breed them because I don't feel like it's worth it. I don't know, is that bad to say? But they only sell for, you can get them at Petco for like 79 cents when they're on sale. Short and Anxious says, kudos to the German Shepherd owner. Tried grapevine and a fungus for about 5 months. Yeah, I could see that happening with grapevine. Jack says, what's the smallest tank I can breed electric yellow labs? Also, how many juvenile cichlids should I start with? And what type of tank setup? So Jacks, those are all basically personal preference. Gravel, sand, bare bottom, the cichlid's not going to care. It's going to breed regardless. The tank setup, I mean, there's people that breed them with just a sponge filter. So as long as you're pulling them out when they're holding. As far as how many you should start out with, that kind of depends on your tank size. I think like a 40 gallon breeder would be a good start, and I'd probably do like 10 of them. Charles says, got to sacrifice it all for the big Steen. Oh, where did that go? Bojo Ford, good night. Keep up the good work, Bob. Thank you. I'm sure you already left, but thank you anyways. Have you taken your dog for the walk yet? If not, video it for us, please. I have taken her for a walk. I could video it. I don't know how many people would find that interesting, but LR Brett's Aquatics says, dang, I'm going to have to rewatch it later then. Did I miss the unboxing? Yeah, the mystery box was a bunch of food that I bought like weeks ago, and it's been so long that I forgot about it. And then something that you might be interested in from Jim Jobs sent me some moss, which was nice of him. And he was calling it anchor moss, which, I mean, that's what it is, but so I got that, which is pretty sweet because I love moss. When are you going to set up the 240? I don't want to say when I'm going to set up the 240 because I feel like I'll just piss everyone off. But it's still going to be a while. How much should I ask my local fish store for good quality platies? I think the problem you're going to run into is they can sell like a 10-cent platy for just as much as a good quality one because the general public doesn't know the difference. I think that's the problem you're going to run into. Bob, you're back with that like ratio. Awesome. I don't even know how many viewers I have. I think I lost where it says. but I'll take your word for it. That's cool. 907 Fish Trappa says, "Hey Bob, live streams are way better on my new iPad. Was using a phone before. Good to hear." Matthew says, "Just ordered my first sponge filter to set up a scud tank. Is there a difference between hydro sponges and the pre-intake filters? I read you can attach a sponge filter to a hang-on back if you wanted." You could run, I personally would do the hydro sponge versus a hang-on back filter, but yes, you could put a pre-filter on the hang-on back. A lot of people do that one for the filtration, but it keeps things from, it would keep like your scuds from getting sucked up. Sell or trade good quality fish to local fish club. Yeah, Rurudu, that's a good point. That's going to be your best bet because, like I said, the general public doesn't know the difference between a $20 guppy or a $2 guppy. Whiskey says, "We need to switch places. You like cichlids, and we have nice water for that, and you have soft water, which I need for discus." Yeah. I'm not sure. Like, I feel our water is perfect for discus, but they're still not very popular around here. Tilapia Stew, hello, wants to know what my favorite crypt is. That's probably my Florida Sunset, which is in my 40-gallon breeder. I mean, it looks decent on camera, but it looks way better in real life, in person. LR Brett's Aquatics says, "At White, just added it. Today was a circus trying to get in my website account, and they changed their password program and messed everything up. Finally got in." Yeah, I've had to deal with that too. Rigo Suave wants to know, what's the most expensive fish you bought? The Mabu Puffer. Maybe the Zebra Plecos, but I'm pretty sure the Mabu Puffer was more. Jim Joe says, "Gotta run, enjoy the moss." Thank you again, Jim. It looks really good. Really excited about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with this later. Discus have really died down in the Asian market. Oh, it's interesting. Filthy Phil says, "I covet that Florida Sunset Crypt." Yeah, man, the Florida Sunset, that thing sells so good. Like, I can put that on any Facebook group, any local forum, and it's gone within 5 minutes. Pine Tree Loom says, "Do you get your tanks at the dollar per gallon sale?" A lot of them I have, and a lot of them I've got from other people in my fish club. How late is this going? I'm probably going to stop it at 8:30 my time because I would like to actually sleep tonight. Favorite floating plant is the red root floater, and I used to know the scientific name, but I don't anymore. How many African cichlids in a 4-foot tank? Kind of depends, 55, 75, 90, 120. There's a lot of 4-foot tanks. Sorry, my friend. Do you use Aquarium Co-op Easy Green on your plants? If not, what do you use? I do. So I used to use dry fertilizers, but that was back when I was into like high-tech, highlight plants. Now I'd like easy plants because, in my opinion, like this crypt garden looks just as good as any high-tech plant I had or high-tech tank I had going. And this is way easier to manage, especially now that I have like 30 fish tanks. So now I use the Easy Green. Burning says, "I'm so sad we can't get phantom plecos here in Australia. If I ever come to Australia, which I will, I'll try to smuggle one just for you." Brittany says, "I finally put the Chinese algae eater in a tank by himself. He has relaxed a bit now that he's alone." Yeah, so there's a huge difference between Chinese algae eaters and Siamese algae eaters. If you can help it, I would always recommend the Siamese algae eater. Ben says, 75-gallon 4-foot tank. Sorry, no problem. It just helps to know. You could put a lot in there. If you had like good filtration, I mean, you could put like 30 of them plus in there. If you put like an FX6 on a 75 gallon, you could probably have like 50 cichlids in there. Not even kidding. People probably call me crazy, but I think you probably could. Now you can't put like 50 12-inch cichlids in there, so let's not get out of control. I was reading that the last proven breeding pair that was for sale in Australia sold for like 1 to 2,000. Man. Filthy Phil says, do you think SAE would prey upon Cory fry? If he was scooting along the bottom and found one, he'd probably eat it, but I don't know that he would go out of his way to try to find them, especially if you're feeding him already. I'm going to scroll up a little bit in case I said or missed something. David is leaving. Sorry, I missed that. Thanks for coming again, David. I know you're not here, but maybe you'll hear that if you rewatch it later. It is sorted out, but messed up my time frame. Probably going to have to pull an all-nighter now. Just hopped on to de-stress for a second and see if he unboxed it yet. I did unbox it, but I did enable my DVR feature so you can actually rewind it. So if you really want to see it. It really wasn't that exciting though. Yeah. Maybe on Wednesdays. I won't have time tomorrow. It's going to be hectic. I still have 3/4 of the video done. I haven't had time to finish. Gonna have to hop off here soon and get back to it. Lucas, doing better. Start physical therapy soon and walking again. What did I miss? What did I miss? Anthony says, Chinese algae eaters get mean as they get older. Yeah, they get mean really fast. Daggle, 88 says, aside from Easy Green, do you suggest anything else like Excel? No, I don't use anything else. That's not a lie. I do use iron. But other than iron, I generally don't use anything else. If I'm having some like balance issues, then I'll still go back to the dry ferts to kind of help compensate. But other than that, no. Andrew says, Bob, what made you get into African cichlids and what was your first ones? So I always looked at African cichlids for a long time, but I was intimidated because, you know, when I first got into it, I didn't know the difference between like Mbuna and peacocks and haps and Malawi, Tangiga, and it just felt like there was so much to learn that I was really intimidated by it. But I just kind of stuck with reading and learning and watching videos. I watched like a ton of KG Tropicals videos where he actually explains the differences between them all, and after learning about them all, it was like one of those things where I just had to have them. Michelle says, Bob, sell plecos in Australia and we will make millions. If you get an import license, I'll import you plecos all day long. Zapper says, any chance we see a line of Easy Steen products? I really like that. Easy Steen. Probably not. I was actually working on, you know, the whole fertilizer thing, and I did get my own kind, but I don't think I'll ever like put it out there. It was a fun thing to work on for a while though. LOL, short must be why I don't have problems with my batteries. What did I miss? Missed something from short. Oh, Breads, you gave me your bad luck streak with dying batteries. Yep, starting to GoFundMe for Short and Anxious to get her batteries. Easy Steam Taco Mix. Well, don't be saying that around Corey, because if you say that around Corey, then he's just going to make his own taco mix. I am working on I'm working with Big Fly Multimedia. I don't know if he was still on here, but he was on here earlier, and I'm going to be calling him tomorrow. We're working on a logo, and I may or may not like put. I'm definitely going to put it on a T-shirt, at least for me, and maybe if some other people want to buy it, maybe I'll do that. But that's about the only thing as far as like branding or products or anything. Oh, did I say Corey's name 3 times again? I knew it. Taco seasoning on the way for the website. I was pretty sure. I was thinking in my head, like, I'm pretty sure that was only the second time I said it. Maybe I accidentally said it once earlier. Trademark Easy Steen. I don't think I gotta worry about trademarking it, but maybe. Maybe I'll buy the domain easysteen.com. I own a lot of domains with various versions of my name, so maybe I'll just add that to the list. Charles says, "Dang it, Bob, you've summoned Corey again." Yeah, I need to summon. Well, there's a lot of people I need to summon, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay, that is exactly what happened. Short, check if your phone is roaming. Yeah, I learned that Short is kind of out in BFE, so she's probably roaming all the time, racking up those roaming charges. Charles Fish Tanks, when you were talking about corridors, you used the shortened term. Oh, I did say quarries. Charles figured out, so we can't talk about corridors, or we're going to summon Corey. I like your guys' stream the other day, too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was, like, super duper tired, and people even called me out on the stream, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Buy an electric eel to charge your phone. I wish I had an electric eel in this tank right over here so I could charge up myself. Taco pizza. I've never had taco pizza, but I know, what is it, like Papa John's or Pizza Hut or Domino's? Someone sells taco pizza. Brittany Wade says, "Hi, Corey." Mark, "Hi, Corey." V-Stag, "Hi, Corey." LOL, Corey. LOL, Corey. LOL, Corey. Corey. Ruti says, "Summon Joey. I need a 300-gallon tank built for me." I think it'll take a lot more than me summoning him. Tank Squad 6 says, "Would you do the recommended dosage for Excel, or would you put more in depending on how many plants are in your tank?" I think it would more depend on the lighting. Like if you have super high light, then you're probably going to want more than the recommended dosage. Keaton says, "By going to sleep, nice stream. Thanks for stopping by again, Keaton. Always appreciate it." Ever had moose taco? That's what we have in Alaska. Nope. I've been pretty close to a moose, like a full-grown moose, and that was kind of scary. But never eaten moose taco. Dwayne, what have you done? You've doomed us all. Can you have a Siamese algae eater with a red-tailed black shark? Yeah, I would imagine. Should do all right. They're kind of the same size, so I don't think you'd see really too many problems there. Okay, gonna scroll up, see what else I missed. Bernie says, "I don't post much. I mostly post GIFs." Oh, here we go. I didn't miss something. Okay, back to fish here. Charles Fish Tank says, "My problem is that I can't seem to get interested in Rift Lake cichlids. I mean, they're beautiful and all, but something about them dissuades me." Got some taste of algae wafer. That's how I felt until I actually just took the plunge and got them. Now that I have them, I don't know that I could ever get rid of them. Again, it's that whole like biodiversity thing. There's so many of them. Joel says, "I knew I could trust Steen." Oh, stream would still be going. Yeah, I'm gonna try to cut it off at 8:30, but it's been kind of fun tonight, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. Mark says, "I have moose in my backyard." That would be awesome. I wish I could just live out in the country, but still get good internet. I was writing earlier how my guppies wouldn't breed. I just checked the tank and there's fry. That seems to be the way it happens too. Dwayne says, Bob, do you dose your water calcium GH for Neo Shrimp? If so, what's the best product? Dwayne, I don't. So the weird thing is that I've never had a problem with my Neos as far as calcium, but for some reason the snails are having problems. Charles says, you got to go for the full 2 hours or the live stream doesn't count. VStag says, we have good intraweb. A lot of places have good internet when it comes to the downstream. It's the upstream that I'm concerned about. It's hard to get a good upstream out in the country. Ian says, ever thought about growing aquatic plants from seeds? Has never crossed my mind. I'm not saying that I won't do it. I've just actually never even thought about that. Rudy says, snail shells are much thicker than shrimp and need more calcium. Yeah, it's probably just that easy. Can you order aquatic plant seeds? I've never seen them. That's probably why I've never thought about it. Brittany says, does anyone know what would happen if I need a pink Jack Dempsey with a blue... Oh, probably meant breed. I certainly don't know. Maybe someone in chat would know what would happen if you crossed a pink Jack Dempsey with a blue Jack Dempsey. I would buy Corey's all day if I got... I would buy Corey's all day if I got Aquarium Co-op. I would buy Corey's... Corey Fish? Corridors? Brandon says, what are your ideas about turtles and tropical community fish? I know people do it, and I know it's been done. I think it depends on specifically the turtle. V-Stag, that too. We have good interweb, that too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know there's a lot of places that have really good downstream, but they throttle the upstream. And I upload videos, so that would really be crappy. Shrimp shells are made of, I think that's chitin, something. Pretty sure I just swore on my channel, but that's alright. Which is way different than snail shell, which is made of calcium carbonate. Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. Dooder says, adding 2 joules to my 48-gallon bow front with 15 Africans. Good idea, bad idea. I think that's going to depend on who you ask, because people do it and people don't do it. People dislike it and people like it. I mean, it can be done. I've seen it done. So I think it just depends on who you ask. Brian says, I want to breed yellow labs. Can I mix the labs with other fish? Will that interbreed? If you mix them with other, like Pseudotropheus or Metracles, something or other, you might have interbreeding. Zafter says they have ice fishing tanks in northern Sask. You have to carve a hole to see your fish. I thought this, I'm not swearing again, are insect shells. I don't know. I guess I'll have to Google it. Let's see what Google says. A fibrous substance consisting of polysaccharides and forming the major constituent in the exoskeleton of arthropods and the cell walls of fungi. Sounds legit to me. I'm certainly not a biologist, but sounds correct. Penny says, hello everybody, I made it finally. Hello Penny. You made it with 9 minutes to spare. Shrimp and crabs are in the same family as roaches. I think I read about that at one point. Josh Aquatics has probably already left. Sorry about that, but if you rewatch it, thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. Mark is in North Saskatchewan. Looks like Dwayne answered Brittany's question. Good. I kind of figured Dwayne would probably know. He's kind of my backup. And is also my teacher. Corrects me. And you still have to go for the full 2 hours. I can't go for the full 2 hours because my dog is already crying. I can hear her crying, so I'm going to have to take her out. Starting 125 gallon for dwarf ram cichlids. What's your opinion on filtration? Any specific type and size of canister filter? One large or two small, preferred brand. I would just go with one large one, but that's just me. I would try to stick with like a Fluval. I think those are probably the best ones right now. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm going to try something. I want you guys to let me know. So I'm going to hit this button that says play ad, and I'm going to go take care of my dog, and let me know what happens when I come back. So if you want to take a break, I'm taking a break because I got to take my dog out. So I'll be right back. I don't know if that's playing. You'll have to tell me. Oh. Oh, come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. No, come here. No, come here. Don't be goofy. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. I know you're right there. Oh, look at this dog. Give me a kiss. Oh, give me a kiss. Oh, good dog. Here, come over here. Not on camera. Come here. No. Oh, don't go under my desk. Come here. Come on. Sarah, come on. Come on. Stop going under my desk. You keep going under my desk. When is the Super Bowl? I think it's the first weekend in February. Can I keep shell dwellers with a pair of bristlenose and guppies in a planted tank? I feel like you're kind of asking for trouble there. Come here. Come on. Up. Come on. No. Come on. Come up. Come up. You're almost there. Almost there. Come on. Come on. Oh, there you go. That's the spot right there. Give me a kiss. Oh. 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 Oof. 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 Shell dwellers will fight a human. Yep. Now that I've let the dog out, are you going to go another? No, because I still have to take her out. She only went number 1. It'll take like 5 minutes for her to go number 2. And I have to watch her. Give the dog an algae wafer? No. I don't think that's going to happen. If you guys want to hang around for like 5 minutes, I'll go till 9 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go in 4 minutes. Are the Parasiprochromis a difficult fish to keep? No, they will be probably the easiest fish ever. Well, I mean, they're not like guppy easy, but as far as cichlids, they're the most peaceful cichlid for sure. Zaptor says, has your dog ever caused any chaos or disruption in your fish room? Only with hair when she's shedding. Everyone's saying good night, Abby. Sorry you have to go to bed. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by again, Abby. Always appreciate it. Charles says all 90 of us will wait. All right. Well, let's go. Gotta get out from under my desk. Okay. I will be back in 2 and 2. If anyone knows what that show is from, you might be able to guess how old I am. Just throwing that out there. I'll be back. And we're back. Oh, look at that little puddle. Oh, look at this cutie pie. Oh. Look right there. Okay. Okay, you hate it up here. You hate it up here. Come on. Good girl. Okay. Whoa. 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 See? Now the dog's causing mayhem. It's alright, I got Allstate. Okay, I gotta work out the wrinkles now that my green screen fell over. Huskies always look confused. Okay, so now, as promised, I'll go another half hour. Charles says, once a puppy, always a puppy. I call my 5-year-old Cocker Spaniel a puppy. Yeah, she's 10 years old. Still call her a puppy. Doctor says, put on a green shirt and do a floating head screen. I was actually gonna do that. Mark's Arc wants everyone's opinion on top fin tanks. I can tell you my opinion, but I'm sure people already know. I'm curious if anyone else has an opinion before I give mine. Oh man, just running around with my dog. 48 Tom W. Hey Bob, if I could somehow ship you my water, which is liquid rock, your snails would explode. I wish. That would do so many good things for multiple of tanks that I have. Charles Fish Tank says, my 50 long is top fan, still holding up well. Yeah, I wouldn't really be too worried about the smaller tanks of any brand. Maybe Tetra, because Tetra is really bad. What's the difference between kelp and spirulina? Completely separate plants. DPK Fish Aquarium says, just uploaded 2 more videos, trying to get the hang of it. Well, I will check those out later, DPK. DPK. That's too close to DKP. Like, I see your name and I see DKP. Nope, not 34. Aiden says, with 2 big sponge filters do good in a 40 breeder, I would say 1 normal sponge filter would do okay. So 2 big ones and you're doing really okay. Brendan says, Bobby, my swordtail has the black triangle mark symbolizing she is pregnant. Just became noticeable today. How long should I wait? I don't think they get too stressed out in a breeding box. I always put them in breeding box with plants, maybe some type of moss or guppy grass, and putting them in with plants, giving them a place to hide. I don't think you really have to worry about stress too much. But as far as how long should you wait, I don't know. I usually do it right away once I notice. Maybe someone else has like a rule of thumb on how often they do it, but I usually do it right away. That 500-gallon African cichlid tank on Steve Pullen's video from this week was great. I haven't been on his channel yet, so I haven't seen it. Put up in Aquarium instead. Yeah, I would trust Aquarium over any other brand. Charles Fish Tank says, I have 3 sponge filters and my 29 breeding for profit. The shrimp like to eat off them. Yep, they're really good for shrimp. Sashimi says, is Cero Cody, I don't know how to pronounce that, or titanium nitrate safe and non-toxic for fish? I have no idea. Dwayne Lucas says your tank is overflowing. Overflowing. He has carpet in his fish rooms like I do. So I'm just glad I'm not the only one. Eli Johnson says, do you think breeding blue shrimp for profit would be worth it? Depends. I think it depends on your area or if you want to ship. Like in my area, shrimp are big time sellers. They sell like instantly. So in my area, any color form of shrimp is going to sell really fast. Firearm finishes. Why do I not know that? I feel like I should know that. Bob, when are you remodeling the fish room? Sorry if you have already answered. TBD. That's honestly the best I can do for you. To be determined. Lucas doesn't overflow tanks. He's washing the carpet. I should know that. I don't know. I haven't had very much sleep since Saturday, so I'm kind of struggling. Allison, so Bob, are you 43? Because I'm sure I remember Love Connection. I wonder who else got that reference. Thanks, CG. I appreciate it. Now that you know my water is liquid rock, what species or strains would you recommend? I do dilute my tap with ROD water by 40%, so maybe that's copacetic. Um, I mean, what are your parameters after you do that? That would be the key question. Moderator slacking. I don't think I have very many moderators in here tonight. I must have scared them all off already. That stuff really doesn't bother me at all anyways, though. Sashimi says, I see no mods speaking for the past 10 minutes or so. I feel like I just had a ton of mods in here and then they all left at the same time. Short and anxious phone probably died. Lucas is changing water. Well, it's been a long time. V-Stag. V-Stag's always here. Where is he at? I gotta call him out. Oh, now all my mods show up after someone calls me big, fat, and ugly. Jeez. Even Grimble Grumble's here. Nobody caught the guy saying I was fat and ugly. I guess it must be true then. Thanks, Tyler. I just got a great deal on 20-gallon from PetSmart. That's nice. How big do albino longfin bristlenose have to be to breed? Probably 3.5 inches. LR Brett's still listening. Everyone's listening. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do the same thing. I'm a moderator for quite a few channels now, but I'm mainly just listening, not watching chat, so I can't complain too much. 48 says pH is 7.4, so that's good. GH 180, that's good. KH 120, or KH 120. Will shrimp live in that? I would say probably. If you really are concerned, you could try to measure like the TDS, but I think you're okay. Penny says no. And my dog is snoring. Not sure what you're saying no to. Sorry, Penny. Tyler says, I reported it, Bob. Mods took their dogs out. Yeah, I did say take a break, so that might be my fault. Excuse me, Bob. Can you tell me how to get to the medical school? I'm supposed to do a lecture in 20 minutes, and my driver's a bit lost. Oh man, I hope people get that too. Dwayne says your regular tap would be good for Neo Shrimp. Yeah, that's a good point. Dwayne picking up my slack again. I love it. CG says that was my brother that called you ugly, not me. Yeah, that's what everyone says. It's always the brother. That's probably something I would do if I was the brother, though. What are some good broad? Man, normally I pick up. See, I'm tired because normally I wouldn't even read that. I would read the correct word that I know you're trying to say. What are some good broad leaved plants for fish to rest on? Anubias. What else? Sword plants. If you're really patient. Man, I'm tired. Crips. Some Java fern. Aiden says apparently the report button does nothing. Yeah, it actually does do something on my channel because I'm actually beta testing some of the features for like swear words and stuff. So on my channel it does do something, but it's not gonna like delete the comment or whatever, but it does send the feedback to YouTube to let them know that their filter is not working. Mark wants to know if I'm back. Nope, not back. Dwarf lotus has large leaves. Yep, any of the lotus plants. Tyler says, how do I become a moderator? I keep that mess out of here. I don't know. I just kind of, one, the people I know in person are definitely moderators. Um, my friends are moderators. It's not really, I don't know. We all saw what happened on Lucas's stream when there was like 29 moderators all banning everyone. CG says, you like the Seahawks? Yep. Penny, what kind of shells do those fish live in? Uh, Man, I'm missing a lot. I get that reference too, whiskey. I do. What's your favorite line in Dumb and Dumber? Oh man. Oh man. There's so many. Maybe successfully breeding a bulldog and a Shih Tzu. Uh, that had me going for a while. Um, it's not only the lines though. Like it's just the whole content. Like when he's in the bathroom, blowing up the toilet when they're out in the snow on their date, and he just pegs her right in the face with a snowball. Uh, yeah, there's so many good things about that movie. Both of them. Oh my gosh, that movie is so good, so good. Burning says, okay, wait, we got a real fish topic again here. You should set up a bottom dwelling tank with just a lot of autos and cories. Um, it's pretty cool to see autos schooling. I never really expected it, and then I got like 20 of them. And yeah, it was pretty cool. And then now they're breeding for me. But now I never really see them because there's so many plants. Yep, I just wear a Seahawks hat for fun. Phosphor says, I was looking at Lotus, $40 here. Wasn't sure how well they'd ship. Didn't want to waste the money. $40 for a Lotus, man. Why are plants so expensive everywhere? Aiden says, oh my goodness, Lucas's stream was a nightmare when he added all those mods. So many people testing their new powers. Yeah, you and I got put in timeout. That was pretty funny. Harry, I took care of it. My auto school too. Yeah, I just never thought, like it never even crossed my mind that they would be a schooling fish. Uh-oh, did I miss something from Dwayne, my fish expert? Uh, hmm. Oh, oh, I just saw it. 48, your regular tap. Oh, no, we already went through that. I was looking for Lotus. You set up a bottom. Pass me the booze. You pumpkin pied haircutted freak. In the future, I would like to make a freshwater tank with bass, bluegill, and one catfish. Fish Aquaria, you should go to like, I don't know if you have a Cabela's in your area, but that's kind of the fish tanks they have in their stores. Kind of neat. Maybe I'll go film mine, but the fish always look like death, so I haven't filmed it yet. Rudu says, I want 20 autos in my tank. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Fish Aquaria, that dwarf lilies, 3 bulbs for $10. Yeah, that's about what it should be. And they grow so fast, I don't understand why they're so expensive. Looks like CG finally got banned and then unbanned. Message deleted. Oh, I can actually do it from here now. Interesting. Do you guys see my options? Oh no, it blocks it. Oh, there. Took care of that problem. $40 for a Lotus. Is that the car? How old are those plants in the tank behind you? Probably coming up on a year. Peru to catch fish or swim in Lake Malawi? Peru to catch fish. If you said Peru to catch fish or swim in Lake Tanganyika, I would have to go to Tanganyika. Has anybody heard of aquariumplant.club? No, but it's got to be pretty new if it's .club, because that's pretty new. Interesting. Your feed tells us who did the banning. I thought all of them did. It's always maybe because I'm a moderator, so I see it. That's probably it. Getting my new fish in 2 days, Bob, from Oddball Aquatics. Cichlids for my L260 tank. There's a website I haven't been on in a while. Oddball Aquatics. Yeah, that's in my favorites. There's a lot of websites I haven't been to in a long time. Aiden says, I got a chance to prove myself as a mod, so it wasn't all that bad for me. Then again, I couldn't get banned timed out. Good night, Bob, says Dan, 13L. Thank you, Dan, for stopping by. Aquariumplant.club. I'll have to remember that. Fish Aquarius says, I don't think you saw this question, but what live bears get along? I've never really mixed live bears. I feel like there's a lot that would get along, but the fry would get eaten. Of all the ridiculous prices in Australia, I can get rainbows for $7 each. Yeah. The only rainbows that are that cheap around here are the, oh, you probably need the scientific name, but they're just called Australian rainbows. And they're like $4 or $5. Can you name your top 3 rainbows? Nope. I cannot. I don't know that I could narrow it down. So it's not that I won't name my top 3, it's just I really don't think I can. Jason says, Bob, do you think it's okay to keep 2 angels and 3 or 4 guppies in a planted 20 high? I think your angels are probably going to beat on the guppies. I figure plants would curb aggression and give hiding spots. I don't know. I feel like you're asking for trouble. I think some of the more aggressive goodiots deserve their own species tanks. Yeah, there's definitely some that you shouldn't. Like swordtails can be pretty nasty. But again, it's not really. I guess it kind of depends on the question is what kind of live bears can I keep in the same tank and have success breeding, or what kind of live bears can I just put in the same tank? Fahaka puffer or Mabu puffer, and why? That guy wants to know. I would say the only deciding factor for me would be how big of a tank can I get, because the Mabu puffer is going to get bigger. So if your like max tank is like a 125, I would probably go with a Fahaka. Dwayne says endlers and guppies will get along in a breed. Yep. Aiden says the guppies or the angels will go after the guppy fins. Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. My Limia don't pick on my swordtails or any other fish, but do they both breed in there? And do the fry survive? That would be what I was curious about. Yes. Endlers and guppies will crossbreed. Josh says, what's up, y'all? The one thing I wish about this YouTube chat, like, I can't see the people in the chat. I feel like there should be a list. What do you use to treat sick fish and where do you get it? It depends on what they're sick with. If you just want like a general medication, then uh, there's General Cure from API. Can endlers be fine with shrimp? Will they eat the babies? You might lose a few shrimplets, but generally they should be okay. There are too many cichlids for the fry to survive. When will you do another live stream? My next guaranteed live stream, Fish Aquaria, is going to be this Saturday at 5 o'clock. That's when I'm going to give away the solid gold Aquatics calendar. And I may or may not do one on Thursday. But I feel like there's a lot of other people doing them on Thursday now, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Anthony says, gotta go. Good night. Good night to you too. Sam's Fish says, I keep guppies, endlers, platies, and mollies all in the same tank, and they are all breeding. Yeah, you see that a lot too, and there's always some that make it through. Sorry, I'm kind of messing with my dog. The Guardian says, got my clown killifish to breed for the 4th time. Awesome. Joel says, there's an option, Bob. If you hit the 3 dots besides live chat and choose participants, when you do participants, it only shows people that have been active in the last 5 minutes. It doesn't actually show a list of people that are in the chat. Have you ever worked with dwarf hairgrass? Yep, if you look on my video, I think that came out on Saturday, I show a tank that has dwarf hairgrass in it. Dwayne says, Bob, thanks for doing the live streams. They are great. I say thank you more for answering all the questions that I fail on. Rudy says, I need a sandwich. Oh man, I would love a sandwich right now. If there's anyone that would bring me a sandwich right now, I'd probably give you I would give you free range at almost any fish in my fish room just to get a sandwich right now. Almost. 1 hour 42. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. Joel says, I enjoy the Bob streams. I'm expanding my fish rooms. Are there any books you own that are invaluable to you? Books, no, and it's just because they just take up so much space. I don't know, like all the books you can find online and read online. I mean, that's not entirely true, but all the information in those books you can find online. So it's a lot easier for me just to set up a computer and learn online than it is to have books taking up valuable space that could have fish tanks there. Do you prefer Jimmy John's or Subway? Charles, I've never had Jimmy John's. We just got our first Jimmy John's like a month ago, so I haven't had it yet. What's the other sandwich one? There's Subway, and then there's another one too, and I prefer Subway over that other one. But I haven't been there so long I forgot what the name is. Joel says, I'm guilty of never reading good fish books anymore. Did heaps when I was a kid. Yeah, as a kid that you didn't have internet, right? You had to do books. When I was a kid, I was reading like every reptile book you could get a hold of, and I still have boxes and boxes of reptile books in my parents' garage. Can you euthanize a sick fish using clove oil? Penny, I think that is by far the preferred way. Quiznos, yes, Quiznos, that's it. I don't like Quiznos. Like everyone else, like Quiznos is way better than Subway. I'm just like, I like Quiznos, I'd rather have Subway. Brendan says, hey Bob, in your experience, is a DIY brine shrimp breeder or bot better? Do you still need a light? I'm pretty sure you're always going to need a light. I've never done brine shrimp because it seems like such a pain in the butt. So I've never done it. I've also never had a scenario in which I've needed brine shrimp. So maybe if that ever comes, my way, maybe I'll try it. But it seems like such a pain, and people hardly ever keep them going. And there's the people that are a lot better fish keepers than me that say it's a pain, so I just take their word for it. Jersey Mike's beats Subway. I think I've had Jersey Mike's once. Maybe. There's not one by me, so maybe out and about. Thank you, Bob. Penny. What else did I miss up here? Sandwiches. Yep. Honestly, I would just go to my work because I can build my own sandwich there, and it's like $1. So if I really wanted a sandwich, I would just go to my job because it's only like 5 minutes away. Jimmy John's are good, and they deliver, but I feel like maybe I should look because I don't know how much they're going to charge to deliver me a sandwich. Is it like pizza where there's a $5 delivery charge, which is ridiculous? Fish Aquaria is heading out. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for coming, Fish Aquaria. Always appreciate having you here. Dave's Cosmic Subs is good. I've never heard of that one. Firehouse. I don't have that either. Charles says, oh yeah, I forgot about Wawa. I have no idea what that is. But hey, looks like we got a real fish question here. Hey, I'm setting up a 110 gallon tank. I'm thinking of putting 2 angelfish, 1 male betta, a school of 10-ish Bosemani rainbow, and a bunch of neon tetras. What do you think? I think I'd be really interested in seeing it. That's for sure. The only thing I'd really be concerned about, actually, I don't even know if there's anything I'd be concerned about. 2 angelfish, maybe having just 2, they'll beat on each other. I wouldn't be worried about the neons. I definitely wouldn't be worried about the rainbows. I wouldn't be worried about the 1 male betta. It sounds cool. It sounds like something I definitely want to see. Wawa is a gas station. Try the Billy Club at Jimmy John's. The rainbows might scare the betta with their rapid movement. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to come down to your tank setup too, like your hardscape. Because I feel like I could put a betta in this tank, and he's just going to swim through. Well, as far as the rainbows, obviously I have a pistos down here, like right there, that kind of hang out at the bottom. So if there weren't a pistos in there, I feel like I could put a betta in there and he would just hang out in the plants. 48 Tom W says, I have boxes of reptile books too, Bob. That hobby kidnapped my life for 30 years. Yikes, never again. I don't know. I'm getting the bug. I'm really getting the bug. Maybe some white cloud minnows too. You think it would be too many fish? I mean, it kind of depends on how many neons. Did you say how many neons you were getting? I would rather get more neons than add white clouds, but that's just my personal preference. Bob, will plecos eat shrimp? Some plecos will, but not very many, I feel. But there's plecos that will eat shrimp and snails even. Paul's Planet Aquarium says, you and Corey, let me know when you're headed down to Florida. I'm in South Carolina and might be interested in going down if I'm not too busy at the time. Paul, I'm not sure what the date is going to be, but 7-Eleven sandwiches. Ugh. I think Corey has the date, but I don't know the date. But I'm sure between both of us we'll announce it in videos or live streams. You would need to lower temp for the white clouds. Oh, Kane, that's true. I didn't think about that. Are you considering getting a ball python? Penny wants to know. I actually did buy a ball python, and then like the next day I had to return it. Well, I ordered it online, so it wasn't even shipped yet. But the next day is when my dog got really sick, and so I could not get it. But yes, I feel I could put a ball python in my fish room, then it would be like perfect temperature, humidity. That guy says, I wish I could afford a handful of Bosemani Rainbow. They are $25 each here in our local fish store. That's rough. That's quite a bit more than I pay for my rainbows from Gary Lang. So, man, that would be a rough life for me. Nisi Rock says, yes, still going on. I had to take a call. I missed the last hour. Oh, we're at 9 o'clock. I gotta go. That would be rad. Corner Bakery Cafe. I don't know what Grimble is saying would be rad. Uh, okay, cool. It's my first big tank, so I thought I'd start off on the right foot. I mean, you could put a lot of fish in 110 gallons. If I wouldn't do it all at once though. Once I would make sure it's cycled, and then as your tank ages and becomes more of a like a bios, like a full bio. I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Like an aged tank does a lot better with more fish. That guy says, how much are the Bosemani rainbows? Yeah, Gary, I didn't. So my Bosemani rainbow fish that were collected and bred from Gary Lang were like $22 for 9 of them. But that was at an auction. That's the only reason I got them that cheap is because they were at an auction. And like before the auction even went up, I was like, you guys just don't even put your hands up because I'm not gonna not bid on these. I'll take it to 1,000. I don't care. I want Gary Lang rainbow fish. So I like planted the seed to everyone knew that like you're wasting your time even driving up the price because I'm not gonna not bid on them. Tyler says, take it easy, Bob. Have a good night. Um, Thank you, Tyler. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you offering to be a mod. I'll remember that. But I'm going to have to call it a night too because I still have to work in the morning. That guy says, does he have a website? No. He does not have a website. He does not sell to the general public. Every once in a while, you can find his fish on Aquabid. And his name on Aquabid is just Rainbow Fish. So that's basically the only place like the general public would be able to get it from. He donates and sells fish to aquarium clubs for, like I said, either donates or gives them to them for really cheap. So I'm lucky that the Seattle Aquarium Society is like a bigger club and has done a lot for like rainbow fish and charities for rainbow fish. So Gary does a lot for the Seattle Aquarium Society. Yeah, everyone, thanks a ton for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I might come on Thursday, like I said, but I don't know because I feel like there's a lot of people doing Thursdays now, and I don't really want to step on anyone's toes there. Definitely Saturday at 5 o'clock though. I still have the video coming out on Wednesday. Don't forget to comment on my last video that came out on Saturday if you want a chance to win the solid gold Aquatics calendar. Um, yeah, I think that's it. So I will see you guys on video on Wednesday, maybe on Thursday, definitely Saturday morning and Saturday evening. So thanks, guys. I'm calling it a night. It was a lot of fun. This was one of the funner ones for me. So thanks a lot.